The burden of proof in abrogation claims. When people debate Quranic abrogation, they often jump straight to the examples. But before any example can even be discussed, one question must be settled: who carries the burden of proof? In Islamic jurisprudence, the rule is simple: the one who makes the claim must provide the evidence. And when the claim involves cancelling the ruling of a Quranic verse, the standard of evidence rises to the highest level. Even scholars who support abrogation agree on this point. They insist that no verse may be dismissed unless the proof reaches the level of certainty. This creates a clear structure for the debate. The claimant must prove abrogation with certainty. The opponent only needs to show that this certainty has not been reached. Why is the standard so high? Because a Quranic verse is the most authoritative source in Islam. Its authenticity is beyond doubt. And Islamic legal theory teaches that certainty cannot be removed by doubt. So, only evidence that is itself certain can override a verse. With that foundation in place, we can look at the two types of evidence used in abrogation claims. Method 1: irreconcilable conflict, that two verses contradict each other so completely that they cannot both be applied. But pro-abrogation scholars themselves set a very strict requirement. The two rulings must be true opposites. They must be unable to coexist in any facet. And if even one viable reconciliation exists, abrogation is invalid. Example: one verse says, "Fear God as he ought to be feared." Another says, "Fear God as much as you can." Some argued that the second verse abrogated the first. But others pointed out that the Quran teaches that God does not burden a soul beyond its capacity. Under that principle, the two verses can be reconciled. And because reconciliation is possible, the abrogation claim fails. Method 2: authoritative narrations. The second type of evidence comes from narrations in which companions appear to say that one verse abrogates another. But these narrations face two major problems. First, uncertainty in sourcing. Most of these reports are singles, transmitted through one or two individuals. Classical jurists classify such reports as uncertain in origin. And an uncertain report cannot override a Quranic verse, which is certain. Second, uncertainty in meaning. Early Muslims used the word nask in a broad, non-technical way. They used it for exceptions, clarifications, conditions, and special cases. None of these are abrogation in the later sense of cancelling a ruling. So when a narration says that one verse did nask to another, it may not be referring to abrogation at all. When we combine these two uncertainties, uncertainty in sourcing and uncertainty in meaning, the result is clear. Narration-based evidence rarely reaches the level of certainty required to abrogate a verse. Conclusion: anyone who claims that a Quranic verse has been abrogated must prove it with certainty. To refute the claim, one only needs to show that this certainty has not been reached. If reconciliation is possible, the claim fails. If the narration is uncertain in origin or meaning, the claim fails. This standard is accepted by both sides of the debate, including the scholars who support abrogation.